First thing I can do is to show that something's a factor of something else. If you ask me to show that 3 is a factor of 12, how would you do that? Divide it into 12, and if there's no remainder, it's a factor. Ever cool with that? We're going to do the same thing here. You did this at junior cert level, third year. It's very easy. You've already done it this year as well. So you're going to divide it in. You're going to get x squared. You're going to get 2x cubed minus 1x squared. You're going to change the signs. You're going to get 8x squared plus 2x. It's going to go in 4 times. By 4x times. Then you're going to get 8x squared minus 4x. You're going to change the signs again. Then you're going to get 6x minus 3. Then lo and behold, it goes in evenly because it goes in. It goes in 3 times with no remainder. Everybody cool with that? That's showing it's a factor. Alright? Now, what I want to show you is something else. Okay? Can anybody tell me, how would I fully factorize this? If the question said factorize this, how would you do it? Alright? Here's what you do first and foremost. Would everybody agree what we've learned from this question is that this yellow part here, in the same way the yellow part would be 12, the yellow part equals this part with this part. Everybody agree with that? So yellow would equal pink. That's the pink part. You're the yellow part. And everybody agrees that's the green part there. Green multiplied by pink equals yellow all day long, yeah? Right, no big deal. So what we do is we rearrange this. So now it says the yellow part equals 2x minus 1 multiplied by x squared plus 4x plus 3. Everybody cool with that? Now, is this part fully factorized? No. So then what you get? 2x minus 1 into x plus 3 and x plus 1. Everybody cool with that? Now, here's a cheat for you. One of the best cheats ever. Alright? I'm gonna draw this graph using my calculator. And I'm gonna put this equation in, okay? So it's gonna be this equation, and I'm gonna put it into the calculator. 2x3 plus 7x squared plus 2x minus 3. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm going to go from, let's say, minus 10 to plus 10. Is that okay with you guys? No idea. Now, except one thing. You know where across a standard cubic equation looks something like this? It has a maximum and a minimum. Or it can be the other way around, where it's a minimum followed by a maximum. I don't know which one it is. It's okay, alright? Now, do you know the way it usually crosses the axis 3 times? Would everybody agree with that? Usually crosses the x-axis 3 times. Can anybody tell me where does this graph cross the axis 3 times? Where would this one cross the axis? Anybody care to tell me? Here we go. X equals 2x minus 1 equals 0. X equals a half. X equals 3. And finally x equals minus 1. That's the factor term. If x minus 3 is a root, x plus 3 is a factor. If x equals minus 1 is a root, x plus 1 is a factor. This means x plus 1 will divide evenly into the yellow part. X plus 3 will divide evenly into the yellow part. So, without being told the factor, here's what I could have done at the very beginning. I could have threw all this into the calculator, and what could I say? The minute I see 0, what does that mean? Minus 3 and 0. So I'd know straight away that x equals minus 3 is a root. Therefore, x plus 3 is a factor. I keep going down. Now, see in between, you see in between -1 and 0. I'll zoom in on this because I know eyesight isn't the best here. Alright, so look at this. What can I say happens in this box here? That information there. -1, 0, technically -2, 5, and then the next point 0, -3. What happens in between -1 and 0? It crosses the x-axis. How do I know that? How do I know it crosses the x-axis? Yeah, exactly. Alright? And we already know that x equals -1. But where does it happen again? Is there any other place where it crosses the x-axis? Let's find out. It's further back, isn't it? So what was my third root again? A half, wasn't it? So in between 0 and 1. There it is again. Sorry, I'll zoom in on this again for you. So, a half is the only one that didn't turn up, isn't it? A half is the only one that didn't turn up. Do you suspect it though? 0 -3 is below the y-axis, but 1/8 is above the y-axis. Oh, sorry, above the x-axis. So that means there's a root somewhere between 0 and 1. You're already onto it, weren't you? By drawing your graph. Now, to do this question, all you had to do was successfully divide 2x - 1 into that. However, to do, not that one, here's what I want you to do here. I'll start you off on this one, okay? See 12 part 6. Does it give you any factor to divide into it? No. You have to find the factor yourself. Back in the day, you look at the last number. See the last number is 20. And you know what you'd have to do? You'd have to test each individual one. So you'd have to test it till you got lucky. So here's what I mean by that. What are the factors of 20? 120, -1, -20, 210, -2, -10, -4, -5, 4, 5. You keep testing it until you get lucky. What do I mean by testing it? You keep replacing the x values over and over again until one of them causes it to be equal to 0. Does everybody got that? What are we going to do instead? Throw it into God's greatest calculator. Alright? Would have loved this in my leaving cert days. I'd be here testing every number like a moron. Well, you guys can just enter it into the calculator. Now, 20. Start from, I don't know, -10 to 10. If nothing hits, try something else. Okay, is there any zeros, lads? Nothing so far, but what have I learned already? There's something between -2 and -3. There's an answer between -2 and -3. I've learned that much so far. Keep going. Got one. Where is it? 2. Everybody see 2, 0? So what does that mean? We already know this is going to work, by the way. Hooray, 2 is a root. Right? So if 2 is a root, what does that mean? X -2 is a factor. Alright, you guys now, I want you to divide x -2 into 2x3 -3x2 -12x plus 20. Divide it in and see what happens. You long divide in here, guys, and long divide in here, you get 2x squared, 2x cubed, 4x squared, subtract and plus, you get 1x squared, take away 12x, You get 1x, you get 1x squared, 2x plus, you get minus 10x plus 20, goes in minus 10 times, and you multiply that out, you get minus 10x plus 20, change the signs, and you get 0 as the remainder. Now, once again, like earlier, I'm claiming the green one is equal to the blue one multiplied by the yellow one. The job is to fully factorize the green part. So to fully factorize the green part, I say that the green part must be equal to x minus 2 by 2x squared plus 1x minus 10. That's not fully factorized though, is it? How do you fully factorize the quadratic? 2 times minus 10 is minus 20. Two numbers that multiply to give you minus 20 but add to give you 1. Huh? 5 and minus 4. Two numbers that multiply to give you minus 20. Oh, sorry, you probably have it done correctly. You have different methods. You've one that's less writing but more thinking. So did you get x minus 2 into 2x minus 10 to 2x plus 5? Yeah. That's grand. So what's our answer? Our answer is 2x minus 2 and 2x plus 5. What does that mean from a graphical point of view? Where does it touch it? It touches x equals 2. It touches it once at x equals 2 and touches it a second time at 2x equals minus 5, x equals minus 5 over 2. Everybody happy with that? Lads, everybody cool with that one? Now, if I was to draw that really quickly, sorry, Charlie, I'll just use it over here. Go. He's still here. Alright, what's the formula again? For the start of the question, 12 part 6. Minus 3x squared, yeah. Minus 12x. Minus 20, is it? Alright. Now look at this. We said it hits only once at x equals 2 and it hits again at minus 5 over 2. If you were to draw all your points using your calculator, well, yeah, there you are. So, if you look at your points in your calculator that may disappear. You see 311 is around there. You see 20. You see 17. You see 020, which is where it crosses the y-axis. You see minus 127. And then you see, what's the other one? Halfway in between 2 and 3, I think it crosses roughly at 2.5, doesn't it? So that's what your graph looks like. And because the x value repeated, it means it only has 2 roots, not 3, if you were asked that. The answer to this question, however, is simply this part here. Everybody cool with that? If you ask to factorize it, that's your answer. Very soon you're not going to be asked just to factorize it. Here we go. Solve. This is what I was doing earlier. What you do with 17, part 3, you put it into the calculator and what do you find out? Which f value causes it to be equal to what? 0. Okay? You do which x value causes it to be equal to 0. Let's for argument's say it was x equals 3. What would you do then? You do x minus 3 then, don't you? You long divide it into that. You'll get a quadratic equation on top of that. What you do with the quadratic equation? Solve it. Okay? So for homework tonight, you're going to do 17, 12, 3, 4, all of 12, all of 17. and we'll take it from there tomorrow.